This time, what we are going to discuss about is the geocentric and heliocentric models of solar system. So, are you familiar with this, Miska?
Um, Not yet.
Not yet. So, this is still in connection with our solar system. So, before we will start with our discussion, I have a question. So, do you think the earth moves or does the sun move around the earth? Based
Are you
from your
sorry?
so based from what you have learned from your previous classes, so do you think the earth moves or does the sun moves around the earth?
You're like giving me the previous Catholic Church education. They used to believe the earth was in the middle and the sun moves around. But no.
Okay.
The earth is moving. The sun stays.
Mm-hmm. So that was the old belief and
Mhm.
based from the religion also. So it was explained that for thousands of years that people believe that the earth is really at the center of our solar system. So this time in this topic we will discuss about what is really the center of the solar system. So this time we will discuss the two models, if the earth or the sun is at the center of the solar system and which one supports an evidence if which is the correct model for it. So before that, these are the things that we will discuss as we go on in this topic. So we will have first understand both of the models. Then we have to identify the scientists that discovered these different models of solar system. And then we will have compare the differences of these two. And last one is to explain why heliocentric replaced geocentric model. So we have here Earth in geocentric. Let's start with the geocentric model. So in geocentric model, this is the very first model that the scientists proposed because of its discovery. So we have here Earth is at the center. So we have the moon, the sun, Earth at the center, the sun, moon, and planets revolve around the Earth. So, geo from the word we have here, geo, which means Earth, and centric is at the center. So that's why if you can see in this picture, this is the old system or the old model of our solar system, which the Earth is at the center of this. So all the planets around the Earth. So we have here, it says here that the earth is really the center of the universe. They provided some evidence that it is really at the center because of some of the scientists that claim to be that this is at the center. So this is the scientists who proposed it. First is it was proposed by Aristotle. So Aristotle is the one who discovered that it was really the earth is at the center of the solar system. And he believed that the earth was, it's because the earth was heavy and it was naturally stayed at the center. So aside from Aristotle, we have here by Claudius Ptolemy. So Claudius Ptolemy, he is the one who also support that the earth is at the center of the solar system because of its mathematical explanation. So he explained in mathematics that because he created this kind of mathematical model explaining a planetary motion. So he explained there that it was because of the movement of the planet. So there is a great possibility, or there is this what he called the alignment of the planet. So that's why he think that if you are on Earth, you can see that the other planets are revolving or rotating around the Earth.
Oh,
Okay, so also we have here, it was also described by Almagis or Almagus. So he was, before that, it was Aristotle, I mean, Copernicus, who supported this proposed by Aristotle. So he was the one who proposed that because in his discovery, it says that Copernicus decided that he could say that this is geocentric because it tells here in his explanation that it was the Earth that follows the alignment around it in the solar system. So basically, if you will think of the explanation of Nicholas Claudi Ptolemy, so it says there that people believed before that it was really true because he was a mathematician. And if someone with a higher knowledge about these things, they will thought that it was really the Earth at the center of the solar system. So it was supported, or he detailed about, because Almagest also discovered in the book of Almagest, it was also described that the earth is at the center. So as time passed by, if during those centuries, it was still that the people keep reading this information that the earth is, because it was being already published by Almagest, that the earth is at the center of the solar system. And basically, because of that book that he was published, it was strongly supported by Ptolemy in his mathematical model of this, that the earth is the center of the universe. So he made a framework of this, like he believed that the celestial bodies were attached to the rotating. So it's like, because if we can try to look at up to the sky, like we can see the stars and other heavenly bodies. So that's why he think that all the celestial bodies are attached to its rotating. So it's, if you will see that our earth is rotating, it's like if you will see up to the sky, you will see the different celestial bodies, which include also the other planets. So he think that the earth is at the center. And he said that the earth outwards, the order of the moon was that Mercury, Venus, the sun, the Mars, Jupiter. So even the sun is also included in the rotation. So if people before did not have the knowledge about the sun, we all know that the sun is has this certain hotness. So if you just think about the, like the common sense of this one, it's like, how can the sun also rotate with the same of the planets? It's very hot, so probably the other planets also will be affected the temperature. But since there are still no enough evidence about the temperature, the distance between the planets, so they um Copernicus believed that the sun is also at the side of the earth or rotating around the earth. So he said there Ptolemy provided this evidence because of what he said this perfect circle. So if you try to look example in this, there are orbits. So he conclude there that because of the if you think about geometric mechanism here, it's just there is a small circle on which a planet moves. So if you think of in this so in this picture, if you can see this is our earth, so if this is our sun, so they are rotating around the earth. So he said there that the earth is that it's shifted the center of the different away from the earth. So meaning the earth that time he as he was studying about the location of the earth around the sun, he also concluded that it's not there is something wrong about it. Though Ptolemy already provided an evidence that or mathematical model about that the earth is at the center, but still as he kept on studying, he realized that the earth was not exactly at the center of the orbital paths because if you try to think about the speed and the brightness, of course the speed and the brightness, you will think about why is it that the earth is at the center when the temperature and hotness of it is not that because we know the temperature of on earth is like the same temperature. I mean, it's not that strong, so it's very ideal. So how come that if you try to look to this model, our sun is in this position. So the position of the sun, it is from Mercury, Venus, and the sun. So how come that the very the hottest planet is Venus, and we have also the Mars is at the side of the sun. So if you try to think, why is it that the temperature is not the same? So he already concluded that maybe it's not the Earth is at the center of the solar system because of its brightness also and how they rotate around the orbit. So in terms of the Almag's book, because it was also described in Almag's that the Earth is at the center. So in terms of his book, he explained there that it contains a comprehensive star catalog. So from Ptolemy that provides mathematical explanation, Almag's described this as the star alignments or star catalog. So he provided there also that there are set of foundation of the trigonometry or like it's like how it was arranged properly. So he thought that it also provides how Copernicus and explain this model. So they will just believe that time that it was the Earth because of the calculation of Claudius Ptolemy. But as the time passed by, as he studied already about the movement of the different celestial bodies and its functions, so that's the time he already doubting. He was he doubted that maybe there is something wrong about the position of these planets. So let's try to discover here the Ptolemy's system. So this is his system. The planets move in circles or what we call epicycles. So they have their own orbits. So if you can see here, this is the one that Ptolemy's proposed about the position of the different planets. We have the center is Earth, then we have the moon, at the side. And then we have after the moon, we have here the Venus, then Mercury. So after Mercury, we have, if you can see, this is our sun. And then after the sun, it's we have here the Mercury. So since it was studied already that Venus is the hottest planet, so how come that Mercury is doesn't have any the same temperature? Supposedly Mercury will have the hottest temperature, but it is Venus, which is already like an orbit away from the sun. So it was he explained there that these circles, so since he was explained there by the word retrograde motion. So um when we say that retrograde motion, it is the one that is the movement of, it's like there is a reverse direction in the night sky. So it's like the geocentric model, it's like the epicycles and the difference of this, it's like it compared the planetary motion of this one. So it's like retrograde motion. This is where the planets would not move simply in a circle, but they would rotate or move on a circle, which in turn rotated around the sun. So that is, he said, that's why he was doubting, because it explained already that it's not only that the planets are moving around their circle, but they would rotate on a circle. So meaning there is still a circle on it. So he was believed that these small circles move in a bigger circles around the earth. So basically, more on Ptolemy's idea here is that it's because of the epicycles. So we have here the epicycles are the small one, like their orbits of that going around the different planets. So why people believe that the earth is around, I mean the earth is rotating at the center. So they said that earth feels stationary. So here it is that the sun also appears like, they thought that the sun appears to move daily. So it's like that time, because that's why they thought that it was already revolving, I mean rotating at the center, because there is still no instrument that can provide. It's just because of the mathematical support of Ptolemy's idea and also by Almagus. So there is no exact picture of the that support that the earth is at the center, and also because of the religious belief supported it. So it was, as what you said a while ago, that it was because Catholic believes that the earth is at the center at the solar system. So it's because, maybe because of its, they think that because it was created by God. So it was like other heavenly, earth comes first. So other heavenly bodies supposedly revolve around the earth. So though there is still a doubt of that explanation, So until now, it was still controversial that the Catholic Church or other religions believe that the Earth is at the center of the solar system. So why do you think they believe on it? Because they thought that if you place, it's like for the Catholic Church, it was advantage for them because it if it placed a man at the center of the universe, and under this is the special attention of God. So if we are living on this planet, of course we are at the center of everything. So why would God create a planet or a special planet that people can live at the side? So it should be supposedly at the center of it or at the midpoint of it. But actually it was not written in the Bible that, I mean, it was not supported by the Bible that the earth is at the center, but it was just mentioned that the earth is at the midpoint. So if you will, people literally think that the meaning here, midpoint, is at the center of the solar system, but it's not exactly at the center, but it's just at the midpoint. So the problems with the geocentric model is that first is the complicated calculations. Though Ptolemy already provided some calculations, but it's not truly an exact explanation that will support the orbits and also the different locations of the planets. And it still needed many epicycles. So another one is we have could not fully explain planetary brightness changes. Yes, this is the most important thing that they considered. If you try to look in this picture, see it's the planet. If you can see, why is it the other planets that are near the sun? It's not the temperature or the brightness of it. It's not that super higher. So it means that there is something wrong about the arrangement of planets. So they could not explain that there is this certain changes in the planetary brightness of each of the planet. So it became more complex for them to realize that it's not really the earth that at the center. So that's why as this model became complicated because of some doubts of scientists and people, so scientists look for a better explanation for that. So that's the time that another model is being proposed. So this is the heliocentric model. So if we try to look to this picture for heliocentric model, so we have here the sun is at the center, and also the earth and planets revolve around the sun. So from the word helio, this is sun, and centric is at the center. So it's like sun is at the center, and the earth and other planets revolve around the sun. And also the earth rotates on its axis. So this model basically simplified the planetary motion. So let's try to discover if who proposed this model. So first is it was first suggested by Aristarchus of Samos. So he was the one who said or support that the sun is at the center. So he first suggested that this idea that the sun is at the center, but the even he already told the people about it, but no one believes him. So no one believes that the sun is really at the center. Not until Copernicus, he fully developed by Nicholas Copernicus. So he was really the one who provided evidence that the sun is at the center of the solar system. So Copernicus revived it in his book, the Caelestum, Evolutionibus Orbium Caelestium. So he was the one who explained there that his model is still like the Earth and other planets is or are revolving around the sun. And his model is still used circular orbits but was simpler than Ptolemy. Though Ptolemy already explained about this in mathematical model, but there is no exact or easy way to understand it. That's the time that Nicholas Copernicus provided this also, that he made the explanation of Ptolemy into a simpler one. So that's the time that they conclude that the sun is really at the center. And it was also Galileo Galilei who provided an evidence. So that's the time he already invented the telescope. So there is already evidence because they can see it in the telescope compared to the guess of other scientists, because other scientists just use the mechanic mathematical equation, and they just use how they see it far away from them and just make any guesses that probably the earth is at the center because of its how it rotates and how you will see the heavenly bodies around it. But it was Galileo who observed the moons of Jupiter. So he was also observed the phases of Venus. And that's the time that he used the telescope to discover that the sun is really at the center. So also in Kepler's contribution, the planets move in ellipses. So meaning it's not really that rounded, but it's in ellipses. So there are three laws of planetary motion that he also explained. And he also removed perfect circles idea. So it was Johannes Kepler. So basically here, if you try to live, if everything here orbited the Earth, Jupiter's moon should orbit the Earth. So that's what they conclude in the time of Galileo. So he was discovered that Venus shows phases like the moon, proving it orbits the sun. So how come if they already discovered the different eclipses, and then they will think that why is it that the direction and the position of the light and shadow, it's different if the earth is at the center. So that's why he also proved that because of the alignment of the sun, moon, and earth. So for Johannes Kepler, he was the one who fixed the problem of Copernicus model. So Copernicus model, basically Copernicus model, he was the one. He started this one. So he was the one who said that. So if we go back here, it was Copernicus. It was Copernicus the one who first fully developed about Geo. I mean Helio. So he was the one who first proposed this one. And then supported by it was him, he argued that the sun is at the center, and because of he changed it before Copernicus, the geocentric model. So it was Copernicus that was accepted for almost thousands of years. But this time, he made two revolutionary ideas. So he said that Earth is not the center. So he removed Earth from the center and placed the sun at the center. So since Copernicus did not agree about it, he changed the position. So Earth is a moving planet. So he said that the Earth rotates daily. That's why it explains day and night. So the Earth revolves yearly, so it explains the seasons. So in terms of this, so in terms of retrograde motion, so for retrograde motion, this I I explained a while ago that this one is when the planets appear to move backward. So they move it backward and was very complicated in the geocentric model. So it was the time that when the Earth moves faster than the outer planets like Mars, they will overtake them. So this makes them appear to move backward temporarily. So they remove the need for many epicycles. So that time there are many epicycles. So they remove that one and arrange the position of the different planets. Now let's continue with the heliocentric. So why heliocentric model was better compared to geocentric model? Because if you try to look, it has more simpler explanation. Simpler explanation, but provides supporting evidence. So naturally, it explains retrograde motion. And next is it is more accurate predictions, and it's supported by telescope observations. So it was because of Galileo Galilei that they already concluded that the Earth is not at the center. So if we compare this two model we have here for geocentric, of course, the center is Earth. The center of heliocentric is Sun. And then this was developed by Ptolemy. And we have Copernicus. Then also we have the orbit shape. For the orbit shape, we have also circles, ellipses for heliocentric, and for accuracy of this, that is less for geo, but more on helio. So did you get, if you try to look this table, did you get the differences between the two? It's like
Yeah.
heliocentric is at the sun is at the center, and geocentric is at the center around the solar system. So if we try to compare the two of this, we have here the Earth centered the solar system. And then we have the sun centered the solar system. So these are the two models See, this is how they differ from each other. Maybe that maybe that they are, if they think about this one, so they think about the earth is centered here because of its position, and our position on earth, and then the sun here, it's because it's literally affect the temperature, the brightness of every planet. So it's like they they have already concluded that this planet is hotter because of its position to the Mercury. Mercury and also the position of the sun is at the center. So at this time, I want you to have this activity first. Do you have pen?
Pen, yeah, a
I
really
just want
thin
you to,
one.
if you don't have color, you can have also like pen only to put the location of every,
Of every planet?
yes. It's for geocentric, and then you have heliocentric.
I think I can do it. It's
Okay.
not gonna be the best, but so I need to draw the planets. That's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
The location of these two models, the sun and if is it the earth?
Oh, like the difference between when the sun is the center and then the earth is the center.
Yes. Not only the planet, it's just their position and location.
Oh, so I just need to draw how it looks like. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do some coloring.
Do you have colors?
Yes.
Okay, you can color first.
So I'm just gonna show like Earth, the sun and versus the Earth, and they're in the center.
Mm-hmm. You can
It's not
you
going
can
to be the
send me
best, but
work. It should be the two. It should be the two.
I finished. I think this is what it's supposed to look like. So
Can you send your work in the chat so that I can show it on the screen?
Yeah.
You did the two models, right?
Huh? Okay, I will send it. I sent it.
Okay, so let me check. Here in meeting chat, right?
Oh no, and the
WhatsApp.
what's yeah.
Wait, let me transfer first this one.
Sure.
Okay, let me transfer first because I don't have WhatsApp in because I want to show your at your drawing here on the screen.
Yeah.
Give me a second first. Opening. Okay, wait, it's not clear. Is it blurry in your end?
In my screen, it's like blurry, but I can still see like my drawing.
Yeah, let me. Okay, so this is your output or your drawing about the two models. So can you explain?
Yeah. So the top one is how the Earth is the center of it, of like the solar system. But then later, in the bottom, it changes how people see it. Now they see that the sun is the center of the solar system.
Okay, so that's correct. Again, don't forget that for geocentric model, it is the Earth is at the center of the universe. And here is that the Earth does not move. So it's just at the center. So it's just other planets are moving. So it's like the sun, moon, planets, and stars are revolving around the Earth. So it's not only that the Catholic or the religion before supported this model, but also the ancient people also observe here because they thought if the sun rises at and sets, so if you can see that the sun rises and sets, so they can just see the sun around them. So how can a sun is at the center if they can just see the sun on earth? So that's how the people identify first. It was in the ancient time that the people thought that the earth is at the center because of what they see. And the sun set and the sun rise. So it means that the sun is around just around the corner of the earth. And also the earth before it's like it feels stable and unmoving. So basically they said that the earth is at the center because if we are on earth we cannot feel anything, right, except if there is um earthquake. We can feel something if there is an earthquake. We can feel that we are moving. But when we are just on earth, because of the gravity, they don't know about the gravity before. So if we are on earth, you will just think that everything is stable. It's not rotating. The earth is not revolving. So that's why they said that since if the movement is stable and we are not like being shaking, so it's big. That's why they said that the earth feels that it was at the center. So in the next one we have here is the heliocentric. So for heliocentric model, you draw here this one. Oh, let me delete. So you have here, this is your sun. So it is at the center of the solar system, and the Earth and other planets also revolve around the sun. So here, Earth rotates on its axis daily. So meaning there is the motion between the day and the night occur because of the Earth rotates. So at first, right, in the ancient people, they said that it is geocentric because they can see that the other has celestial bodies, like the moon is not in the morning and the sun it's like there is sunrise and sunset. So as time passed by, they already understood the explanation for heliocentric. For heliocentric, that is, they can feel that there is a day and night. How come that there is a day and night when our Earth is at the center? So it's not moving. They thought that it's at the center and it's not moving. So basically, it was also explained by seasons like the summer, winter, fall, autumn. So those are the four seasons. So they also provided evidence about that because seasons occur before Earth revolves around the sun. So that's why they said that it should be at the center. So that's how they differ from each other. So right now I will show you first this video and then tell me what did you discover about this video. This one is how geocentric and heliocentric are differ from each other. Though it already explained here well that how they differ because of their position, but I just want you to show how it rotates and what makes it differ from each other. Wait, let me. Why I cannot share the screen? Oh, here.
Grammarly now uses AI to help you write, not just revise. Type a prompt and generate a persuasive, mistake-free draft.
If you watch the stars at night,
So let's discover first how is it really in its movement.
it appears as if the stars are moving, that the Earth is completely still. This is an example of apparent daily motion and was used to justify that the Earth was the center of the universe for many years. Welcome to Moo Math and Science and the geocentric and heliocentric models of the universe. From the perspective of the stars moving, it is very easy to assume that the Earth is at the center of the universe. This was the accepted theory called the geocentric.
Oh,
Okay, so we are finished with this already. So we will continue about the video that I showed a while ago.
Okay.
If you watch the stars at night, it appears as if the stars are moving, that the Earth is completely still. This is an example of apparent daily motion and was used to justify that the Earth was the center of the universe for many years. Welcome to Moo Math and Science and the geocentric and heliocentric models of the universe. From the perspective of the stars moving, it is very easy to assume that the Earth is at the center of the universe. This was the accepted theory called the geocentric model for many years. Great minds like Aristotle and Ptolemy proposed and supported this view of the universe. Geocentric means Earth-centered, and it just seemed right. However, there were some problems. For example, sometimes the planets appear to be going backwards or to have a retrograde motion. In order to explain this, small orbits called epicycles, which are orbits inside the orbit, were proposed to help explain the backwards motion. This model of the Earth being the center did not sit well with Copernicus, and in 1543 he proposed on the revolutions of the celestial spheres, in which he explained what many had suspected, that the sun is at the center of the universe, and that we move on Earth along with the other planets around the sun. This is called the heliocentric model. He proposed that each orbit was a circle, and the Earth, like other planets, revolved around the sun. This solved several problems, including the retrograde motion of the planets, arguing that such motion was only perceived or apparent rather than real. With the help of his telescope, Galileo Galilei discovered the moons of Jupiter and observed that small objects revolve around larger ones. Johannes Kepler proposed that the orbits of the planets were not perfect circles, but ellipses. Our planets travel in an ellipse and actually speed up when closer to the sun and slow down when further away. The retrograde motion of the planets was explained because it is caused by the planets that move more quickly past other planets, and it appears that the planet is going backwards. Sir Isaac Newton proposed his laws of motion to help explain how objects interact with the world and each other, and his laws of gravity identified the responsible force behind celestial motion. We now know that the sun is one of many stars and is not the actual center of the universe, but the planets do revolve around the sun. And not the other way around. If you'd like to know more about
Okay, so based from that video, so it just explained how was it the sun and earth became at the center of the solar system. So there are many explanations about that. But right now, we already followed the heliocentric model of solar system, which is the sun is at the center. So to end this, again, before there is a conflict with the church, why is it that they keep proving that it's not the sun at the center of the solar system? So before, when Galileo already introduced the telescope and proved that the sun is at the center, Galileo was tried by the Roman Inquisition. So the church, which is the church. So it explains here that the church supported the geocentric theory because of it matched certain religious interpretations. And also, Galileo supported heliocentrism publicly and was placed under house arrest. So that's the time when he was opposed to that theory about the earth is at the center. So It explained that science and authority sometimes conflict during major discoveries. So before other explanations or discoveries about the sun is at the center, so it's still acceptable before that the earth is at the center because there is still no evidence that, or there is no instrument that can measures and prove that the sun is at the center. But as time goes by, because of the new inventions that can study already the different celestial bodies and the movement of the planets, so it was concluded now that it was really our solar system. We are following the heliocentric theory or the heliocentric model, which is the sun is at the center. So, any questions for that, Niska?
No, no questions.
Okay. So if you don't have any questions about that one, so that sums up our discussion about heliocentric and geocentric theory of, or this the model of the solar system. So that's all for our discussion about this topic.
Oh, yay! It's finished.
Yes, it's finished already, Miss.
I think you need a text